IVM.
There's a quick survey to fill out on ivmpodcast.com/survey. It lets us know a little bit more about who's listening to us. And you know what? We're going to do a few prizes. So, we'll do a random drawing of maybe 10 people and we'll send you all some swag. Remember, that's ivmpodcast.com/survey where you can fill out the survey.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of IVM Likes. I'm your host Zalak, and with me is my co-host Antariksh. Oh, no, sorry. It's just a habit that I have of talking about my co-host, but unfortunately, Antariksh is not here with us in this episode. He's out, he's traveling, so it's just going to be me and some fellow IVM staffers, and we're going to talk about something which is very close to my heart and which helped me grow a lot, which is solo traveling. I just think that you just become a totally different person when you solo travel, and the stories that you get are just crazy. And obviously, like every other IVM Likes episode, by the end of it we realize we need a part 2 of this episode, but you'll know next week if we are coming up with a part 2 or not. So stay tuned, we'll be right back after a quick break.
सफर, रास्ते, मंजिल और मुकाम अक्सर ये हमसे कुछ कहना चाहते हैं, पर हम हैं कि अपनी रोजमर्रा की जिंदगी में इन्हें सुनने से कतराते हैं। नमस्ते दोस्तों, मेरा नाम है केशव चतुर्वेदी और मैं आपको ले चलूंगा कुछ ऐसे सफर पर जहां आपको एक नया नजरिया मिलेगा सफर और मंजिलों को देखने का। आइए इन किस्से कहानियों में डूब जाएं, हर मंगलवार और शुक्रवार।
And we're back. So in this episode, we are joined by Pragati, Abhay sir, and Harsh. They're all from IVM. Hi guys, how are you guys doing?
Doing great. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm great. We're great.
Yeah.
Hello.
Nice to be here.
All of their debuts? No, Pragati's no. Harsh and Abhay sir's debut
Yes.
on IVM Likes.
But
How do you
first
guys
time
feel to
in
finally come on IVM Likes?
It's pretty cool, yeah. It sounds
It
cool in the
is,
year
it
at
is.
least just now. So
It does. So today we are talking about solo traveling. Like
Oh,
all of us
nice.
have solo traveled, and like you guys more than I have. I'm like a beginner, I feel. So I'm like looking forward to a lot of stories. But to begin with, do you guys travel often, or like do you guys travel like?
I travel often. From Andheri to here, I'm solo travel.
I'm also from Thane to
Yes,
Khar. Oh my
everyone is
god.
traveling solo.
Dude, that's a solo travel. You guys?
well, I do travel often.
Yeah.
I can actually officially say I'm addicted to travel. So if I go 1 month without traveling, there's something that starts itching in the fingers saying,
Ooh.
"Kahan paise kharch karne, kahan jaane?"
I have that once in 6 months, so I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's not as much as Harsh, but I think I travel when I can.
Mhm.
Whenever I can, I'll find the long weekends and I'll club them together and I'll try to travel. But I think it was also mostly during summer vacations and stuff. Whenever there was spring break or winter vacation or whatever, that's when I would truly travel.
Nice.
I miss my traveling. Actually, before the COVID, I used to travel. I was hardly at home. So purely it was travel, backpackers. I've done so many different kind of genres of
Yeah.
traveling and everything. After the COVID, everything boom.
Yeah.
So I'm
Yeah.
actually missing it,
But like,
Same.
did you
Freely
guys start
traveling
after
outside.
that?
It's
Oh yeah, no, that's a task. Freely
Yeah.
traveling after COVID.
but now I'll be starting it. After
Yeah?
the summers, definitely I'll be on the road.
How's the change though from COVID to from non-COVID to COVID when it comes to your travel?
Oh, it's very painful to travel now.
Yeah.
Within India, it's okay. But if you want to leave the country, then it's really painful because the processes have doubled.
Yeah.
You need to quarantine in some places, you need to not quarantine in some places, but get tests done in some places.
Yeah.
It's just very complicated. Life is not as easy as I will pick up my bag and leave tomorrow.
Absolutely.
That
There's so
actually
many
used to-
restrictions.
yeah. That actually used to be the way that I would travel before, where I would on Skyscanner, I would be from my city to everywhere at any time, and whatever's the cheapest place, I would just book the ticket and I would go.
That sounds like a nice idea.
But
a random
Skyscanner
travel.
was actually the thing that I was addicted to. It was,
But-
how people put locks on their laptop for Netflix and stuff, and you
Yeah.
need to study. But when I was in grad school, I would Skyscanner was I would just spend so much time. That would be Madrid to everywhere, and whichever place was cheap, I would just go there. But now, as Harsh said, you need to actually do some research, which place needs a test, how many hours before, pick
Quarantine, no quarantine.
Yeah, it's a which portal you need to like
Yeah.
register yourself on. It's just like a bunch of things that need to
Yeah,
be
that's a
figured.
lot. Which also reminds me that a long weekend is coming up. Like a
Yes.
4-day weekend.
Yes.
What are you guys' plans?
Well, I have a couple of plans, so let's see. I mean, one is Igatpuri, one is
Yeah.
going to Hampi. So
Ooh,
that is,
nice.
but I don't know whether. I mean,
Yeah, that's what I'm concerned about.
bad.
It's just too hot.
Hampi is going to be damn hot.
Yeah.
Really hot.
Yeah.
But
Do you guys have any plans?
Harsh has actually been planning since he runs a travel agency called India Someday.
Ooh.
I told him that, I have this long weekend and I can't figure where I want to go because there are just like so many options, honestly.
Right.
But I don't know yet. But I think I may be doing, so I want to get my advanced scuba diving license. So I think I might be going to like Phi Islands
Ooh.
in Thailand to like dive over there as per Harsh's recommendation. But again, like there are just so many like processes over there. It's not that long of a weekend. So
I mean, you can take those 3 days off and
so
get,
that was the
get
plan.
yourself
Yeah,
like
that
the
is with the
9-day
3
thing.
days. It is with the 3 days. But we'll see. Like still a couple things need to be figured to do
Nice.
that.
yeah, I don't have a plan yet, but I'm sure by the time it
Yeah,
comes closer,
even I know, knowing you, I know that something or the other will come up.
Something or the other will come up. So
Yeah.
I actually do also want to go diving, but only 4 days is sometimes hard to
Yeah.
plan a dive.
Absolutely.
But
Should
I don't
come
know.
with me.
We'll see.
Should
We'll
come
see.
with.
Yeah. We'll figure this out. Like in the next week, essentially. So then I might want to take my daughter to Goa.
Yeah. Dude, even I'm going to Goa.
Yeah.
Same
So that
We'll catch up there, I guess.
yes,
Another story for another IVM Likes episode.
done. What to do in Goa?
Zalak and Harsh's adventures in Goa.
Yeah. Even I'm going with my family though. So,
okay.
yeah, whatever. But like the thing is with them, they only want to do like a staycation. They want to book like a luxury hotel.
Same.
Go there,
Yeah.
sit there for 4 days and do nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah. But like now they are in their like what? They are 29, like, sorry, 28 and like 32 and all. But I'm 22. I haven't seen like Goa. I want to go out. So I want to go out. I want to do all these crazy things. Like, I don't know. I don't want to sit at one place.
Yeah.
I don't think it's my age yet.
Hey, it's not my age either, and I'm 38.
I know, but like his is different. So I don't know, whatever. So basically, tell me how you guys got into solo traveling. What got you into it?
I always liked traveling, I guess, because of, as you said, family holidays. My dad is an avid traveler, so we would always go as family. But I guess when I was 16 or 17, after the 10th standard or ICSE, my dad said, okay, I'll sponsor a trip of yours
Oh,
if you get an X number of like marks.
Nice.
So I said, okay. And then he said, but you have to plan it and you have to go on your own. And I'm only going to give you X amount of money. You have to go and come back in that much money. So
So cool.
so it was like a life lesson, right?
Yeah.
He thought it would be a life lesson. He didn't think it'll become like an expense for him later on. But essentially it started off as a life lesson, and then I took whatever 10,000 rupees that he gave me and I went to Himachal.
Ooh, nice.
And I was like, I can only go on my own or I'll ask a friend or someone, but no one really had time because everyone was applying for college and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'll go. So I went to Himachal
Priorities.
I went to Himachal for almost 20 days. And
You did Himachal 20 days and 10,000 rupees.
Haan
This
ji.
is from a time before. He's
Haan
kind
ji.
But
this is like the
still.
Stone Age he's talking about.
Haan ji.
Like,
Haan ji. At
when he was
1999
15.
it wasn't too expensive.
We weren't alive then. It's okay.
So, no, you can probably
still do it. We'll still
you
do
can
it.
still do it.
10,000
Yes,
20
yes.
days.
Dude, the
20
flight
days
to-
you can't.
The flight to Delhi is
So no,
only-
you go by train. That is
No,
fine.
then
The
it's
train also is like at least 4,000 ka ticket will be
No,
there.
no.
आप
are you
AC में
mad?
जाते हो, madam.
जाने का normal local.
मतलब
यार,
आप
फिर भी नहीं
स्लीपर में जाने का,
Yeah, you-
without ticket जाने का.
Exactly. Yeah, करने का.
Look at this.
So you have, hence I called it a life lesson, right? But yeah, so that was the first trip, and then obviously after that it was just like I have to do this like as often as possible, and literally from then every year, every summer holiday, I would do some trip or the other. And when I went to study in the Philippines, I literally traveled like 40 countries at that point of time.
Wow, during your college?
Yeah, during my
40
graduation.
countries. Oh my god.
Yeah, so that was when I like really got into it, because us time paise bhi the, so we were like, we can do it, right? So yeah, that was and obviously India has always been my first passion, because for the first 9-10 years of my life, I only traveled India. So yeah, it's been fun. It's been fun.
Nice. You?
So I think, so I actually, it was really funny because I moved to Madrid like 4 years ago for business school. And over there, because like Spain is part of the Schengen, it became very easy to travel.
Yeah.
Like you could literally, like it was if you like, flew the really sasta airline, like Ryanair, and like I used to get like €17 round trip tickets to like London and back.
Oh
it
my
was like, they were
God.
like steals. So it became very quick, and also it was all very close by. So like,
Right.
one long weekend and you could have like done like one small city and come back.
Yeah.
But the first like solo traveling trip that I went for was like a 10-day backpacking trip across Italy.
Oh.
And this was in my spring break, and I think I just moved. It had been like a month or so, and I was like 20, I think, at the time. And I really wanted to go to Italy for some reason. Like in that spring, it's not like I was going to be there for 2 years. I could have gone to Italy at any point.
Yeah.
But that spring break, I just wanted to go to Italy. And the friends that I'd made there in like a month, they just kind of wanted to go to like any of the beaches in Spain, and exactly what you call like a staycation, like book
Yeah.
some like really nice place and just sit. And I was like, I don't want to do that. This is a really long break. I want to like
Right?
actually go out
Yeah.
and explore. So then I was like really trying to pitch Italy, but then no one was like interested. And I was just like, okay, fine. Basically, it was like, okay, f it. I'm just going to go by myself. And I just went. And that was like my first experience. But when I told people, it was just like, it turned out to be a surprise, because I went from like this person who couldn't even eat like lunch by herself in school. Like I always needed people around me. Like I couldn't like eat in a restaurant by myself. I like, if I reached a dinner place before my friend, I wouldn't like go and sit at the table to keep the table. I would let the reservation go, but I was like, I'm not going to sit alone at the table. To like a 10-day trip all by myself. And I think it was just like, it was so freeing and like exhilarating to just do whatever you want to do, to be able to do whatever you want to do on that trip. Like I didn't have to I didn't have to like make sure someone else also wants to go to this museum,
Yeah.
or like also wants to like walk an extra
Yeah.
like 5 miles to
That's
like go
the
to this
best
one
part.
particular restaurant. So I could basically just do whatever I wanted to do for 10 days. And I think after that, I kind of was just like, this is just how I want to travel. So it was just, I think it was the move that made me travel.
That's such a cool story.
Nice. For me, it was like, it was when I started growing. I mean, I was in school. We went to trekking after college. Most forts I've been trekked. I mean, I went with groups. Then I started going solo. For a
Oh
couple
my
of days, I used to
God.
carry my tent, sit outside, gaze at the stars. So that
Wow.
became my passion, traveling solo. Then during my corporate life, I used to travel every almost 15-20 days. I was out of Mumbai. I mean, traveling here, there. But what happened was, it was just hectic travel, work related. I've been to Agra 7 times, Jaipur so many times. I didn't see any places. So that was, and my instinct of photography was there. So I said,
Yeah.
I'm missing all these places.
Correct.
So one fine day, like 4 years back, I quit my job and I said, like, I don't want to do anything now. That's going into my head. And once I quit my job, after 15 days, I started traveling. I went to Calcutta, stayed there for 15 days. I explored the full city. I went to Rajasthan 28 days. I was just
Oh,
planned
wow.
for 4 days and then stayed up 28 days. So 18 months I traveled solo.
Wow, 18
Straight 18 months. 18 months.
Oh my God.
That's a long time.
Pure. Like I used to come back home, stay there for a week, plan it out, and then randomly, so many times I done random trips. I was watching something, I liked the area, and then next day I was like there.
Oh my God, that is so
So,
cool.
yeah.
There's so many stories. I mean, I love traveling, and I'm missing it in the last couple of years. I
Yeah.
mean, seriously, I just love solo traveling. The best thing is like, you take your own decisions.
Correct.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you go with 2 people or a group.
You have to take into consideration
Everything.
everyone.
I want to travel here. No, people say no. Go there. I want to eat something. Then you say, "Arey nahi yaar, theek hai." You compromise everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So whatever good decision, bad decision, it's your own decision.
Yeah,
Solo is the
correct.
best thing. It's an
It
adventure.
is. Yeah.
It's complete freedom.
Complete freedom.
Yeah.
I don't have such a cool story like all of you guys do.
I think
My-
all like stories are cool. All
Mine
traveling
is not.
stories are
Listen,
cool.
no, mine is not really not. So for me, solo traveling started. I first got into the idea of solo traveling because my best friend used to solo travel a lot, and then I just wanted to do something of my own because the same damn reason that I'm a person, if I want to do something, I'll do it. I don't take into consideration anybody else. And that can't happen when you travel in a group. So I was like, the next best thing is solo travel. And it took me a lot of efforts to first convince my parents to let me go and travel solo. Because I was 19 at that time. 19 or 18 at that time, basically. So they, after like a lot of like tears and jhagda and everything, they allowed me to go to Panchgini for starters. You go there for 3 days, you stay, you come back, and then we'll see कि तू हाँ कुछ भूल आई है, तूने कहीं कुछ mistake कर दिया, तूने पैसे ज़्यादा दे दिए कहीं. We'll see all of that, and then we'll decide where you can go. So I went to Panchgini, and I had the most beautiful morning of my life because I reached there at 5:30, and by 6 o'clock where I was staying, there were clouds all around me, surrounding
So
me.
nice.
And like I almost woke up to that, to be honest. And even the next day was just like that. And the people that I met over there, the stories that I came across, and most importantly, I think I met myself in a way over there, because there was, when I'm traveling at that time, I realized that it was like purely Zalak, like it was raw Zalak, no filters, no nothing. I don't know anybody here. They're all strangers. They don't know anything about.
Yep.
I could be me without any like fear of judgment or whatever. So that part got me like into solo traveling. Then I was like, whenever I'm traveling, like, you know, it gives me a chance to meet myself in a way, just explore some new side of me and everything.
Yeah, it's
That's
like
my story.
solo. It's not a solo travel. It's a soul travel, you know.
Yeah,
So you're
yeah,
searching
very well
for
said.
soul, right?
Yeah, very well said. Have you guys come across like any weird people or like weird stories? I want to know that.
Oh, we might be here for like the whole day probably, but
Let's do it. Let's cancel all our meetings.
There's a team meeting coming up.
but no, it's you can meet lots of strange people when
Yeah.
you travel. I can remember one. So there was a website called Couchsurfing,
Okay.
Yeah.
which had become
Yeah.
popular in
Yeah.
the middle. It's kind of died down now, but I used to couch surf a bit just because it's very cheap. It's free actually. So, but I was in the mountains in the Philippines in this place called Baguio once, and it seemed like an awesome house because it was like a bungalow, and the woman that ran it or who owned it had a couch surfing thing. So I signed up for it, and she seemed quite normal when in like the
Normal.
description. Yeah. Until I went there and I realized that she's a drug dealer.
Ooh.
And she's high on the drugs that she's taking all the time. And she was just completely out of her mind, and I was actually scared to sleep there. I'm honest, like I normally don't feel scared to do anything, but I was scared to sleep there because she was really out of her mind. Like she would talk to herself and then suddenly talk to me and then talk to something in the air, and I was like, okay,
Oh my god.
I am not staying here. And I just made an excuse and I said, no thanks, I'm just going to move on to the next city or something. And I kind of left. But like that, there's like hundreds of weird people that I have met, like, but this one like definitely like is on top of the pile. Like it was strange. It was just like, it's like going to one of those horror movies that you see, right?
Yeah.
Like I could just picture,
You just know
I
that
could-
the protagonist has to leave this place.
yeah, I was like, just, you know, in all those horror movies, they never leave and they decide,
Yeah.
we should stay. And I'm like, nah, I'm not one of those people. I'm
You're
getting out
sane.
of here. I'm getting out of here. So yeah, that was definitely, but I guess being a guy traveler, sometimes it's easier and you meet lesser weirder people.
Privilege.
Yes.
At
So
least he acknowledged it.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a lot easier because you tend to meet lesser weird people. Or you can at least distance
Oh,
yourself a lot
yeah.
easier. So, but yeah.
Dude, on my last trip, right now, I went to Varkala, I think last one.
Oh, I'm gonna. Okay. We'll chat later.
Yeah.
I want to go.
So there I met this one guy. I don't want to give out too details about him because apparently he's very popular in Varkala. So basically, he was kind of into me. I was there for good 9 days. So he was kind of into me, and like he started telling me about, so do you believe in travel romance? It's like, yeah. But like, and then he just stuck to the idea, and he like kept on inviting me to places and like, come with me here, come with me there, we'll go to this terrace, we'll go stargazing, we'll do this, that. And then I liked him as a person. Like for a friend, he was good, okay? He was very helpful, and like when I was stuck, he was like very helpful and everything. But I was not into him romantically or whatever at all. So I straight up told him I'm into girls.
Oh.
I do this a lot.
Nice.
And then he just stopped replying to me.
Oh my god.
I say that's a good strategy.
Hey, oh my god.
I used to do
It's
that,
a
and then I was
great
like,
strategy.
no, I should just be able to say no, and like. But yeah, sometimes when like people are incredibly persistent and they just won't leave, I guess you've got to like figure out another more creative way.
I've said that to at least 4-5 people when I was in Varkala alone. It's very fun though. But you know that even after that, if they are talking to you, then it means that
Did you go surfing?
no, I'm not into surfing.
Oh, okay.
So you guys, weird stories.
Do you want to go first?
No, please.
I think I'm still wondering which one to pick.
Okay, I have another one until then. So at one of the places, I was sitting around with some fellow travelers. Like it's like a bonfire kind of thing. We had a DJ, barbecue setup, and everything. And the sunset was just gonna happen. And there was one guy who was playing the music on his Bluetooth speaker, and he was coming around asking everybody that which song do you want to play, which song do you want to play. And this I got to know later. Before that, I thought he's just going around to everybody and talk. He's a friend of theirs. He's been here for a long time, so they know. They all know each other. I didn't know that. So then he came to me and he asked me that, hey, what song do you want to listen? I'm going and asking everyone. It's like, okay, I'll tell you this song. And he played it, and then he started talking to me. To us, basically. I was with another friend over there that I just met over there. So then he started telling us ki, oh, you know what? So tomorrow I'm leaving. Do you guys want to, beep this part editor, like take LSD or something later tonight? So I was like, I'm not into that or whatever. So usne bola, so then he said ki, yeah, actually I'm gonna chase the police after me. I've like money laundered like a gazillion bucks. And they don't know I'm here. So I'm like not telling anybody my location. I'm not telling anybody my real name. But you know what? If you want to find me on Instagram, this is my ID.
What?
Yeah, so he was actually on a run chase and he'd taken like hostel ka past membership, and he was just jumping from one hostel to the other.
Interesting.
And by the way, hostels are very great hostels for solo travel.
Yeah, they are great, but I think what they used to be and what they are now has changed. Like they used to be like proper backpackers hostel. Now like randomly people come
for
in
drug
just
dealers apparently.
Yeah. And like they just come there to chill and not travel and whatever.
Yep. So one of the stories that I remember was just really weird was so I was in Portugal and I was living at this hostel, and it was like this co-ed dorm, right? It was like this. It was this co-ed dorm, and normally I like pick the female only dorms just for like, I don't know, like safety, I guess. But I think they were like, they'd run out. I'd booked it like last minute or whatever. So I was like, okay, cool, let me just stay here. And in the morning, like it's so weird. And I wake up and like the bed like next to me is just like shaking. And I'm like, why is this bed shaking? I almost didn't want to like turn because you could sense that it's shaking. And I turned and it was just like images that I didn't want to see. So I was like, okay, this shit, like I am out of here. I went up to the reception, the people, and I was like, okay, listen, can you move me to the female only dorm or whatever? And I think they had some cancellation or something, and they actually managed to do it. So I was like, okay, great. I go there, and for some reason, so it's like there are, I think 5 people. I think there were like 5 people that could like in that dorm that could share that dorm, and of which I was one of them. And out of the other 4, 3 of the women would just like walk around naked all the time. And I'm like, what is this? Like, where have I come? Like, what is this? Is there like a...
You asked for it.
I was like, what is happening over
Welcome to Europe.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I was like, okay, is this like a, one of those like, what is it called? Like, I was going to say subculture dog. My brain is just gone into like, but like those dogs with a theme or like almost a cult or something. I was just like, what is going on? And then finally, like, I was like, okay, I'm out of this place altogether. And I got myself like an Airbnb eventually. But then I found out that this dorm was for like, this hostel was for like to like meet people and like, free your body and like no judgment and this
Nirvana.
and that. Yeah, basically. And I was like,
It was Osho.
Osho, right?
Yeah, I was like, this is a little too European for me. I'm out of here.
You have you come across any weird people?
Loads and loads of stories. I mean, mostly those are good experiences. Well, randomly, you can tell I've been stuck on the road for almost couple of days. My car got stuck. I had to literally tow it down. I was somewhere in remote near Madurai or
I
somewhere.
would be killed.
There was a language problem. Then I was stuck in Rajasthan. I hired a bike and that guy said it pura filled hai petrol aap leke jaiye, and I randomly went outside 35 kilometers outside in the desert and I was stuck, no petrol.
Oh my
But
God.
good thing is they sell petrols in bottles. So
they
I had to tow it for half a kilometer, and then randomly some guy took me for 5 kilometers and we bought that petrol, and then
Yeah, we
so
come
those
across
kind of
really good
experience
people
I have.
also.
Then I got lost in the jungle for a full one day, and that was an experience. So many experiences. I was on a beach for a night. So many experiences in Kerala somewhere. So many incidents, so many stories.
Even I've spent like one night at the beach, but like I've voluntarily done that.
That's called camping.
No. So
Just
I had
saying,
a hotel room and I had everything, but we had a private beach. So I spent the night over there,
Nice.
And actually,
stargazing.
I was discussing with Harsh, like the whole Orissa belt is unexplored. I mean,
Yeah.
it is like
Really?
Orissa itself is so beautiful. Not many people venture out. There are and it's cheap.
It's cheap.
yeah,
The
cheap.
beaches are fantastic.
Clean.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
But
really, really pretty.
Maybe we should do that for the long weekend.
Yeah, is it?
Really
But is it
great.
a backpacking scene or is it like a?
No, you have a decent
Place,
You have a decent backpacking scene. As in, it's not like hostels. I don't think you'll find many. But there's a
B&Bs,
decent. Yeah, you'll find like small hotels. And it's
Oh,
nice.
nice. Yeah.
It's nice. Puri, the Rath Yatra.
Rath Yatra.
Yeah, that's what it's famous for.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Parents wanted to take me for that.
it's awesome.
And the Puri beach is so amazing. I mean, you surprised so many foreigners come there. for
Yeah,
beach.
it's super clean,
Yeah, super clean. Yeah.
and you have Ridley turtles also.
Yeah.
Ooh, wow, that's interesting.
Yeah, so
So even when I went to Varkala, more than Indians, I found foreigners only. Even when I went for my yoga class, I was the only Indian over there. When I went for my sound healing session, I was the only Indian there. And these guys were like of the impression that when we come to India, we thought that we'll see everybody doing yoga and everything. Everybody would know everything about yoga. But like when we came here, we realized Indians don't do yoga. They've never been taught yoga. And then it hit me, oh yeah, it's an Indian tradition. Like more than us, they know about it.
It's like they kind of took yoga from here,
Yeah.
like nicely packaged it, like
Yeah.
commercialized it, put a bow on it, and then now they've come back to India to be like, okay, come, let's find ourselves. And like I've actually learned yoga from like Indian teachers who've gone abroad, like studied, gotten their license over there, and then come back and like are teaching it over here.
That's
So-
new.
And even
All so many of them.
backpacker culture was not Indian. I mean, people used to come for a couple of months. Foreigners, they used to come, hang around. They used to
Yeah.
travel. And in fact, I would say they are the best travelers. I have received so many tips from those people because I used to stay at the hostels. They used to tell me these are some hidden gems. I'm an Indian. I'm from that
Yeah.
area, and I didn't knew that.
Damn
So
it.
you get
Yeah.
you exchange so much information with this solo people. I mean, solo travelers.
For
There
sure,
are so
like-
many hidden gems in India itself to explore.
Yeah, I agree. Is there like anything on your bucket list that if you're solo traveling, you have to do this one thing when you're there? For example, for me, it's wherever I'm traveling, solo or not, like it's a thing that I want to visit, like the local religious place over there.
Okay.
But like, and also the other thing was getting tattooed, but like where I can, I get temporary tattoos. Where I can't, I can't.
I don't know. I probably a weird quirk I have is always trying to find the highest point wherever it is,
Ooh.
because you just get really good photographs. So
Yes.
you always get a different, like a different vantage point. Is like literally, if there's anything that I can climb, I'll just try and climb it, because even if it's like in Barcelona also, for example, you can go up and there's like a weird Jesus statue up there, like
It's not a Jesus statue.
no, there is
It's not Jesus, it's
There is.
You were
There's a-
talking about Brazil.
no, not Brazil, in Barcelona there is a
Barcelona.
Jesus statue, and that's like probably the highest point. This is not the Gaudi Museum.
Gaudi is amazing.
Yeah,
Gaudi
but
Museum was nice.
But yeah, so I'm just like anywhere essentially, whether it be Hampi to climb up Matanga Hill for
Matanga Hill.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I
morning,
was
yeah.
cycling over there to get to the top, and I fainted twice.
Yeah.
Because of the heat strokes.
Yeah.
And then I just gave up midway.
That was a good call.
Yeah, that was a good call.
That was a good
Yeah.
call.
Yeah.
Yeah, but even my friends didn't go then. I was like, tum log to jao. At least it's okay. I'll stay
Maybe it
here.
was like altitude sick. I don't know. How high was it?
It's not high. It's heat stroke. It's just the heat. Humpy is all about the heat.
Heat.
I haven't been.
Yeah. Oh, like the only time I have fainted is in Spiti Valley because I did not take time and did not realize that there's altitude.
Oh.
And I started climbing up to the Dhankar monastery and I walked too fast until I almost passed out and I had to stop. And those lovely villagers actually took me in, gave me butter tea, like said, sit here, go to sleep for 6 hours, you'll be fine, then climb up. So like that was just like me being like, all, kya hoga, kuch nahi hoga.
Such good people.
Yeah. So, but yeah, you meet some fantastic people.
People are so
100,
nice
yeah.
there.
Like you
100%.
travel puts your faith back in mankind.
100%.
As in, as much sometimes it doesn't, but most of the times it puts your
most
faith
of the
back
time
in
I'll come
mankind.
across good people.
Exactly. It kind of makes you believe that like most people are good.
Yeah.
And just because like I've received help out of like in like from like the most unexpected of places, right? So it's
Yeah, I agree.
definitely. What was your question?
To-do list.
The to-do thing. So this is not like something super unique, but like I think whenever I travel, I really want to try like the local cuisine.
Yeah, me too.
Like I don't like there are so many people who are like, oh, you know, like to save like, you know, to like travel within your budget or whatever, like, you know, you can eat like 2-minute noodles or like the fruits
I
or
will never
whatever.
do that.
I'm like, or like go to Subway over there and like it like it
never do that.
bothers me.
Yeah.
And this
How
used
do
to happen.
people do that?
Dude, this used to happen when I would go with my friends. They're like, oh, let's just go to Subway. And I'm like,
No.
there is Subway next to my home
Yeah.
in Bombay. I am not gonna go to Subway over here. Like, you know, like let's find a place. Let's like, so definitely like, and even if it sounds like weird, like the dish or whatever, like I'll just want to try it.
Same.
So food is definitely a big part of like my, like I'll skimp on like other things or like I won't, like I never shop when I travel. Like I'm just not a big shopper. So I'll like save money over there, but like I'll spend it on the food.
I cut
So-
down on the alcohol when I'm traveling.
I don't
Like
cut
I
down on
have
the
like
alcohol.
maybe like I can have like a night of cocktails or like a night of just drinking with the friends indoors. But that's it.
No.
I cut down on the shopping.
Yeah. No, I want to shop.
I never want to shop.
For me, it's like exploring the culture, the local cuisine, the local flavors. So I never go to those, you know, touristy places.
Yeah.
So I sit with where the local sits. I mean, at Chaiga Tapri or that local people, and they tell me you should go this place, this place, this place. You know, so you get a lot of tips from those people.
Yeah, for sure.
So food is definitely it's on my mind, and I actually there's a thing for me, like the Kashmir on the other side is amazing. I actually want to visit Hunza Valley and all those, like amazing. I've been to Pakistan a couple of times.
Oh, tell us stories.
Yeah. But that was on work related. So,
Oh man,
but the people are so amazing, so amazing.
Yeah, even I want to go
I
there
went to
once at
Islamabad
least.
and Lahore, so very
I even
fantastic.
went on like the embassy's website to like check for visas.
Dude, same. I've done that
But
for
you
Kartarpur
can't.
tunnel also.
You can only go there for work, which
Work,
or if you have family that got separated during the partition, you got to prove it. So that family needs to write you a letter. I'm like,
So we have pilgrimage places in Pakistan. My religion has.
oh,
So which is why I could
There's
go there.
So many beautiful places. There are
So even you've
temples here.
been?
Yeah.
No, I can go there.
pack me in your
You can go to
suitcase.
Kartarpur, no?
Yeah, you can go to Kartarpur.
So I want to actually go to Karachi
Oh yeah.
because, or actually really any like bigger place because like I'm like in love with like this one Pakistani artist and like he has his concerts over there. I just want to go for the concert. It's like he's never gonna come to India.
Yeah.
I want people to go to Pakistan. How do we meet?
Europe. Best place.
Dubai is the
Dubai,
midpoint for
Dubai,
both.
midpoint,
nice.
Like he's gonna come to Dubai to play. That's when I'm gonna go.
So that's my place. I mean, I'm actually the Kashmir on the other side. It's totally amazing. So
Yeah.
that's one, and there are a couple of places also. But let's see.
Yeah. Some other
One more. I want to do a round trip in New Zealand, which I had planned it a couple of years back with my friend, hiring caravan and just 15, 20
New
days
Zealand is
New Zealand.
amazing.
Dude, it's
So that is on my to-do
expensive.
list. First, top priority. Like
Damn.
When the world opens up
the
again.
world
Yeah.
opens up.
So another quirk of mine was that I want to collect postcards wherever I'm going and write to all my friends, like family or whatever, back home, wherever I am from.
Nice.
If not, just buy postcards from wherever I am and come back. So when I was in Abhi Varkala, I went again for postcard shopping, and there was a set of postcards which had things already written on it, and they were very old. You could feel it that they were very old, and you could see the color and everything. So I asked the shopkeeper, what is this? So he told me that these are postcards that could never reach their destination.
Oh, nice.
So they laminated it and everything, and now they're selling it. So I bought one of those. And the things that were written behind it was just so nice and to read also. So the one that I bought, उस पे लिखा हुआ है कि रेडियो पे वो जो सवाल पूछा गया था उसके 4 ऑप्शंस में से सही जवाब पहला ऑप्शन है आलोकनाथ.
That's a pretty old postcard.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
It's like a message in a bottle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give me the name
And
of the place when I'm gonna go.
Okay, done.
This can be a recommendation.
Yeah. I don't know the name of the place, but like I remember where it is, so I could take you there, I think. Or just like video call me, I'll direct you to it.
Zalak,
Yeah. Yeah. So there's a game that I want to play with you guys, which is Pragati is just so excited today.
My God.
So this is a would you rather game. So I'll give you 2 options and you have to just choose which one would you rather when it comes to solo traveling.
Okay.
So the first option is like the most basic, backpacking or hotels.
Backpacking.
Backpacking.
Yeah. Has to be backpacking.
Yeah, same. Even
But
for me.
with 2 days in a hotel.
That's a good.
With the last 2 days of my holiday needs to be in a hotel where I have
That
a
makes
pool
sense.
and a room to myself.
The
Makes sense.
cheaper version is that you come back home and get a massage. That's what I do. I book a massage on the day. It's like, gotta do some luxurious things again.
Yes. Spend some money.
Spend some money.
Beaches or mountains?
Mountains.
Ooh.
Mountains for me.
Oh.
I can't answer this. Yeah, it's hard for me.
I don't know.
I have to be one of those and say both.
No, you can't.
Okay.
It's my show. You have to give an answer.
Then mountains.
It's hard, dude.
You have to.
Choose one. Pick one, yeah.
Beaches.
Yeah, even for me, it's beaches.
I think beaches, yeah.
I've always been a beach bum.
Go water baby.
Yeah, me too. India or international? Solo trip?
India.
I think so. I have, so like I said, I solo traveled more when I was in Spain when I was studying over there. So I've solo traveled internationally more, and I found it to be easier because I think the ecosystem for solo traveling in terms of the hostels and stuff is more set up than India, which is why I would say international. But I want to do India solo traveling more. So now that India Someday exists, I will.
Nice plug in.
Nice.
So I've done most of it in India, so for me it would be international because I want to explore that. I've never done that.
Nice.
Plan your trips or make it spontaneous?
Random.
Spontaneous.
Yeah, I really can't do the whole Excel sheet.
Yeah, same
Planning.
Me too. Sorry, I think I'm out of questions.
I like planning it for other people though.
Just plug. The last 5 minutes is just plugs.
Okay, so after this, I want to ask you if you guys have any suggestions or tips for anybody who wants to solo travel, anybody who's a newbie like me.
I don't think you're a newbie. You have some
Yeah, but
amazing
just like-
stories.
Still,
Make your own story. Don't plan.
Yeah.
Just think about it and then just go. That's it.
but any travel tips, like practical ones?
So I think you would know since you literally run an agency to do this.
Go.
India Someday.
India Someday.
Bol.
Go follow on Instagram, guys.
Yeah.
Bol.
No, so I think what really helps is that, like wherever you're staying, if you actually, so there will be like a common area for like any hostel that you're at, right? Like just, I would say like don't be like afraid to actually go up and like say hi to someone because more often than not, they are also just there by themselves and they're also looking to make friends. And the thing is, once you start talking to these people, you'll realize that they've actually been here for like over a month or whatever and they found these hidden gems and like, like local places to eat at and stuff like that. And, you'll honestly like sometimes just make a friend for like life. like some friends, or like most friends, in fact, that you make at, or that I've made at like my travels, they've been friends for that time, and then you wonder whether you'll meet again. But there has been like one or two people where like we've kept in touch, and like so, and like and now I hear stories from like Sri Lanka or like wherever. So I would just say like like actually like go up and like say hi, and like introduce yourself. If you are like bad at small talk and you're like, oh wait, like what do I like say, just like give them a compliment, like, hey, I really like what you're wearing, like where's it from, or like I'm looking to get breakfast, do you know any place around, like ask them for something. You can like turn it into a conversation. So I think that would be my suggestion.
It's a really good suggestion.
Yeah. So I guess I have specific stuff for the female traveler. Just in a general sense, not to be wary of people. That's the wrong way of putting it. But definitely have your ears up, I guess. But in general, most people get a sense. So I guess very quickly learn what a good judge of character is.
Yeah.
There's no set way of doing it other than your gut instinct. But definitely follow your instincts as a solo traveler. That is the first thing that I tell anyone that's traveling solo is just trust your instincts. Your instincts will never be wrong. And what your first instinct says, stick to it.
Right.
Stick to it. Don't, like, if you feel I shouldn't be here, don't be there.
I agree.
That is the first key thing that should be done. And otherwise, things to save costs, always try and get like a shared rickshaw. Always book flights on a Tuesday or a Thursday.
They're cheaper. Fares.
So either going on a Tuesday, coming back on a Thursday.
That way.
Yeah, so you'll always get a cheaper fare on a Tuesday or Thursday for some strange reason. It's just what the flight algorithms say.
Yeah, I mean, I
and
like,
nowadays the options are so many options. Like every city now they have, hire a bike, hire an Activa. I mean, it's so bloody cheap. You can travel everywhere. It's better than moving around in cab and this is how you truly explore the city.
I don't know to ride.
Yeah, even I don't know.
I actually think it's a bottleneck now. Like I need to learn how to ride.
You should start.
You should.
Yeah.
You should. It is a bottleneck.
It is a bottleneck.
Cycle I know.
So many.
So there are so
I know
many.
how to cycle.
Yeah, even I know.
You hire that. I mean, you can easily travel 10 kilometers every day. So
Kitna stamina I don't have. But
10 kilometers I don't.
Then stamina becomes the bottleneck over here.
There are so many options. I mean, travel options are there, staying options are there. Now, so many options have been up there. I still remember when I used to start traveling, I mean, there was hardly any. I mean, I had to book hotels which are 3,000 rupees. I mean, now we have hostels, everything.
Yeah.
Airbnbs are there. So many options are there.
Yeah.
For me, what I do is wherever I'm going, the first day I'm there. So I love dogs, right? I love animals in general. So what I do is first day only, as soon as I get there, I get like 10 packets of biscuits and I go around and feed all the dogs in the area around me, or like around my hostel or hotel or wherever I'm going to spend the most time at, because then they get to know you and then they come around you, they stick with you wherever you're going. So when I was going, I used to go at 6 a.m. every day for my yoga. So it was like a 10-minute walk. So all the dogs, they had their boundaries. So they used to walk with me till the end of their boundaries, and then the new dog would walk with me till the end of their boundary.
That is so genius,
right?
Yeah.
That is so smart.
Yeah.
Yes, and they loved me. Even so, the day that I was leaving, I went and I fed all the dogs with like good dog food, and like they became friends.
I just remembered an actually like a good tip would be to write down your room, your hostel address or wherever you're staying, because this happened is that we went out drinking, we got really, really drunk, and then our phones died.
Oh damn.
And I think this was our first night, and the hostel had some random like name and some random like address, and I didn't know Barcelona that well. So I remember when we were both, this wasn't a solo trip, but like imagine if this was solo, and then we were just like, both of us were just in the cab and we're like, where do we go? Because now we don't know where this place is.
Yeah.
And then I remembered somewhere, like I had just happened to write down the address, and we found that in my like big bag of things, this very tiny slip of paper, and I was like, this is actually like
Life saving,
because your phone can just die, and then you're like, now what?
Yeah.
I love all these problems that y'all have, man.
What?
We were born in the era before phones.
You don't think? I was like, I'll map it to the place. I was like, I'll Google Maps it. Google
Yeah.
Map it.
Like, yeah, man, like, shit, this problem, like, because when we started traveling,
Yeah,
there was no
there's no phone,
phones, there's
nothing.
no internet, there's no laptop, there's nothing. You have to remember where you stay. You remember the area,
Right,
you figure it
yeah.
out.
Difficult to even book a ticket also. No?
Yeah, it's very easy.
Sorry, it's just
Well, look at
it's just funny for me. Like,
Look at
no,
this.
but it's a genuine thing, right? Now even I use Google Maps to go everywhere, right? So
So
but-
you won't think about writing it down anymore because you won't think that, oh, my phone just died.
Yeah, no, I guess maybe at a personal level, I'm very good with knowing maps and cities.
I'm
Same
terrible.
here. Like when I see
Like,
something,
yeah,
then I
like,
register.
I'm
that.
never
Even I'm
forgetting
the
it.
same.
I'm actually very bad at it.
I
yeah.
really
Yeah.
remember
Yeah,
everything.
I'm never forgetting anything where I am. So like once I've been there, then it's done.
Yeah, same. One last question before we take a break for recommendations. Quickly tell me where's the next place you want to travel to?
New Zealand.
New Zealand.
Japan.
Japan.
South Korea.
Oh, dude, me too. But my next one has got to be either Croatia or Hong Kong.
Nice.
Or
Both
Sao
are great.
Paulo,
Yeah.
Brazil. Okay, that's it.
Okay, that's
Okay, so we're gonna come back after a short break with some cool recommendations.
Have you ever wondered where the business world is headed? How the ways in which we create, market, and sell to consumers will evolve? Or if we'll ever go back to wearing pants while working? For answers to all of this and more, tune into Advertising is Dead with me, Varun Dugirala. Every Tuesday, as I talk to entrepreneurs, leaders, and change makers from across business, media, marketing, and beyond. You can catch all episodes of Advertising is Dead on the IVM Podcast website, app, or wherever you get your podcasts from.
And we're back. So Pragati, do you want to start with your recommendation?
no. I was like, I don't have one yet. You go.
You want me to
Yeah.
give a recommendation? Okay. So I would definitely recommend people to scuba dive in life. Even if you're scared of water or not scared of water, I would definitely recommend
Yeah,
people
for
to
sure.
scuba dive in life. There's a different feeling of being under the water and a different calm and it's a different world. So definitely do it anywhere you can in the world. Just do it once.
Nice. Abhay sir?
I would say I've done solo, like bicycle travel, bike travel, car travel, solo. I've done so many things. But the place I would actually recommend is like there's people go to Hampi. So there's one place called Gingee Fort. It's prehistoric and it's so beautiful. It's so underrated. I mean, I would definitely, who loves people like heritage or those kind of architect, I would suggest that.
Where is it? Gingee?
Gingee is near Pondicherry. It's like
Oh, nice.
70 kilometers away from Pondicherry.
Wow. Okay.
So I've been there 3 times and
Wow.
it can't, I mean, it's the expanse is like 50 kilometers of radius. You will find some dunes and they're amazing place, amazing.
Nice. Pragati.
I would recommend this travel agency called India Someday. It is really, really cool. And they make the best like travel plans for you. I think the owner is very approachable and nice. Always down to
Props
give
to
you
him.
like recommendations and
Yeah,
suggestions.
Hashtag
and
Pragati and get 10% discount.
No, but I second that.
Profit sharing.
So yeah, I think my recommendation would be this page called India Someday.
Nice. My recommendation is this game called Dobble. So it basically has like
Play a lot
50
of
cards.
games.
Yeah. It has 50 cards which are in a circle and they have like these different icons on it. And there is at least one icon which matches with the next card, whichever card you pick. So there's one icon that is similar in the next card, and then from that card there's some other element which is similar with the next card. Something like that is always there. So what you have to do is just give one card to all the players and then you open the remaining cards and then you just pick up that card if you see the element which is on your card as well, and the goal is to have the most number of cards in your hand.
I second that recommendation. And I also just want to put it out that I'm the current reigning champ.
One
at
second, it's
Dobble
me.
At IVM.
It is
What?
me.
Everyone
Since
just
forever.
lies in Dobble. You don't see a
Lies in
word and you
Dobble?
say snow cone,
You
carrot.
didn't have to say
Hush,
that.
you're just an idiot.
It's
You
supposed
don't
to
know
be
how
a
play this
secret,
game.
hush.
Yeah, you don't know how to play this. Zalak, I've been the reigning champ. Don't take it away from me.
No. Ask Suro.
Asuru, I've been playing with Ro.
Me too. What? Why are we not playing with each other? then?
Dude, this
Yeah.
is it. Like,
Yeah.
The finale.
this is it. Okay.
So we've come to the end of the episode. Thank you so much, guys, for
Thank
coming
you.
in,
Thank you so
joining
much.
us, and
Yeah.
giving
Thanks
us
for
such
having
great
us.
It's fun.
stories.
It was
It
fun.
was really fun.
Yeah.
We
Thanks.
should hang around more often.
Yeah. Or maybe let's do a part 2.
Part
We
two,
always
yeah.
say this.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a thing at IVM Likes.
Nice.
But yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for
Thank
having
you.
us.
Thanks for the
Bye.
coffee, Shubhanka.
Bye.
Bye.
Hey everybody, it's been another great week on the IVM Podcast Network. On Storytellers and Storysellers, Vineet talks to Tanisha, Shweta and Ashish. They are the founders of the sex toys and wellness business, the Sangya Project. They recount their journey from an Instagram page to a full-fledged queer-owned business. On The Fighting Goat, Arjun and Somesh take a look at why MMA fighters are choosing to go back to pro wrestling. Want to learn an interesting perspective on the act of letting go? On The Habit Coach, Ashton shares 3 questions that will help you forgive others. On Marathi Kitkitun, the Deshmukhs draw a connection between the disciplines of science and literature. And on Tere Mere Raste, Keshav explores the city of Strawberry Farms, San Diego. Do follow us on social media. We're IVM Podcast on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. And remember, if you're enjoying this show or any of our other shows for that matter, please do tell a friend. And don't forget to rate us on any of the platforms you're listening to us on. Also, remember, we're on YouTube. You can check us out on ivmpodcast.com/YouTube and get a list of all the YouTube channels we have active at this point. I'd also like to make a quick note that we're doing a small listener survey, and it would really help us if you could fill that out. You can go to ivmpodcast.com/survey. And finally, we'd like to thank our sponsors this week, SBI Life Insurance and India Water Portal. Thank you so much for making this possible.
Do you wonder why China does the things that it does? Or want to know how we could improve online privacy? Or perhaps you're thinking about how we can kickstart India's economy? If you'd like to search for the answers to such questions, check out All Things Policy, a daily public policy podcast that covers everything from employment figures to aircraft carriers. Tune in from Monday to Friday for new episodes and fresh takes.